you doing? Oh, check you out.
I just don't know if they look too much like pajama pants, but
I think they look great. Yeah.
they're like living in, they're really comfy.
I think you can get away with it as a children's author.
Walking pants. I didn't put my red glasses on just for balance.
That'd have been like the outfit complete, that though, wouldn't it?
I would have been a step too far even for me. You look so clean and crisp. It looks brilliant.
I don't know what I've done. And last night at the Chit-Chat, it gave me an option to view in HD, and I watched the recording back. I was like, I'm not sure how I feel. I'm not sure how I feel about being in HD. I'll be honest.
You look good.
Oh, you look very clear today as well.
I'm in the front room and I'm on my iPad and I've built a sound booth.
Do you know what it looks like? Very podcast studio-esque.
Oh, this is my living room, but you're not looking at the
I like
floor,
it.
because on the floor there's all the toys that we own.
Don't shatter the illusion.
To add some balance, every toy that's owned in the whole of West Yorkshire's on my bedroom floor. Living room floor. They also bought the duvets down this morning and had some sort of what did Lemon call it? A picnic. I was like, do you mean a picnic? He's like, no, a picnic.
Oh, that's
So we had a
brilliant.
picnic, and I've just folded them up and left them there because it's too hot upstairs. So I'm going
Yeah, it's going to come out when they're back from school today. Have they gone today with it being so warm? Yeah.
They've got aircon at nursery.
Yeah, well, they'll be cooler there than at home, won't they?
Then so yesterday they just spent the entire from getting home to bedtime in the paddling pool. So they'll probably do the same tonight.
Well, Joe, I might do that myself.
No.
Look like an overheated whale.
Looking over the garden, I don't really want to see me sat in the paddling pool.
Thing is, when it's warm, needs must.
It is warm. Like, I'm really, really warm. But outside, I went out at lunchtime to hang some washing out, and it felt like there was a little bit of a breeze, actually.
Not here.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's ridiculous. It's like, I keep in my head saying that Peter Kay thing. I like it warm, but I don't like it this warm.
Maybe it's country though, isn't it? Like, if you sat with a beer somewhere,
Yeah, all depends on your environment,
doesn't it? We've started the podcast.
We have. Fashion show first, yeah? Don't say we don't bring you variety here.
Oh, dear. So, it is episode
7.
Is it episode 7?
Well, it's actually, we've done 8 episodes, including the question and answer bonus one. So, yeah, it's 7, officially 7.
Yeah.
Do double check me on that, though, because logic has gone out the window today with the heat.
God. Well, there we go, episode 7. Okay. So then I'll put this up anyway, so I don't need to say it, do it? I'm Hannah.
We don't need to say that anymore, because it is there.
Oh, dear. So we're recording this on Thursday. I've lost my voice a bit, by the way, as you can probably tell still.
Yeah, you were a bit hoarse on the Chit-Chat last night, weren't you?
It's just a bit of a crazy one. Like, I like cold, but it always goes for my throat, so it always sounds worse than what it is. I'm totally fine.
Oh, I hope you milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah, I do. So yeah, we had the Chit-Chat last night. That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very hot though. It was. I was so warm. I was melting. But yeah, as I was saying to Megan this week, aren't I, Megan? Megan's our work experience, lovely work experience girl. She's just sat here, just out of shot. That you're going to get sick of me saying that I'm warm all the time. So if we'd have started a job, you'd have made some right money this week, wouldn't you?
Warm is my worst thing to be. Honestly, warm is definitely my worst thing to be.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll
especially if you're a woman of a certain decade like I am. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, or especially if you're a woman with a co-joined toddler, like I am.
Sleeps over you like a scarf.
I'll send you a picture. It's not appropriate to share the podcast because I'm in my bed, but I'll show you Liam later. Adam took a picture this morning, so we have a king-size bed. Adam had been completely kicked out of it, and I'm clinging on for dear life, and Lennon just looks like the cutest little angel you've ever seen in your life. Scoping up the entire bed.
Because Lennon, I got the pleasure of meeting him in person, didn't I?
Yeah,
Lovely Lennon, and he came with us, didn't he?
for a business
We,
meeting.
yeah, for a business meeting, yeah. Ever the profesh.
They were only there because I told him there was gingerbread.
Hey, yeah, good to pay him a gingerbread. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Cheap for us.
yeah. No, he was, fairly well behaved. He moves on to
He
the next thing as
was,
quick as I
yeah.
do.
He was lovely, very cute. I don't know how that boy ever gets told off because he's just
He
super
is so
cute.
cute. He didn't get told off enough, that's why, because he's so cute. And then so, yeah, Chit-Chat yesterday, I'm not sure exactly how many people joined, but it was bigger than last month.
Pause. I was trying to work it out.
But it
There
was,
was definitely 11 on
yeah,
screen, and then there was
some
some
more
off
off
screen,
screen.
maybe 13,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But faces that we've not seen join before, which was great because we were talking
Mm.
about the Lit Fest.
We had yeah, we've got a recording of it as well because we did have some that messaged to say that they wouldn't be able to join because of holidays and
He
things. So we
quite
have got,
rightly.
and the heat, yeah. So we have got the recording ready. I've sent it out to a couple of people who missed it at the last minute. So I've sent it out to those, but I'm going to put it on the WhatsApp channel, link on the WhatsApp channel, members channel, and I'm going to put it on the announcements in the members page as
Yeah.
well, so they can.
Oh,
Or should I just put it on the skills lab? I might just do
in
that.
the skills lab, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
Mhm.
that because it's easier because it links to YouTube then. Yeah,
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 yeah.
I'll do that.
Well, so within that session, we tried to talk about everything to do with the Lit Fest and a little bit about the Discovery magazine. So have a listen to that. There's a few gaps still. We're going to catch up with Joe from Books and Bebs when he's back from his holiday,
Mm.
to be able to give you all a little bit more insight on some of the questions that were raised. But all in all, it was really good because it wasn't just us wanging on. There was actually a lot of collaboration and questions and
Yeah.
yeah,
Kirsten was great, wasn't she?
yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, though, stay on to the end when you watch it because when people start leaving, somebody hung around to ask a question at the end, so it's worth just waiting because I do answer another question right at the end of the recording.
Mm.
But yeah, Kirsten came up with some great ideas and has since followed them up with an email to us with some suggestions.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Yeah, yeah, really appreciate that.
But yeah, it was fun. It was great. Tried to keep it a bit short because we were all baking and I wanted my tea. But it was good, and I'm really glad that we can do that. And we'll be doing one each month on various topics. So that was super.
Yeah, so we were talking about the Lit Fest, which was good because that morning, you, me, and our lovely work experience girl Megan went to the Kirklands Community Centre to see it. So that was fun, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, well, it was more fun for you because you just trusted my
Yeah.
instinct on this one until now, haven't you?
And you were spot on with it,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, the crowning glory for me with the library attached to it next door and how so it just flowed into the community centre. It's just going to be a perfect
It really is.
venue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the library have been kind enough to allow us to use their space as well on the day. So to actually hold a lit fest that's going to incorporate a library is really exciting.
yeah.
So
And I think the size as well. So the size is perfect for us as well because we're not trying to be a big, massive festival. We're not trying to compete on that level. We just want our first one to be a micro lit fest, would you say? A bit bigger than a book festival,
yeah,
a bit
bigger.
smaller than a lit festival, but we want it to be because it's ICAN members as well. It's kind of cozy and unique to us, and it's just going to be lovely and friendly and all the things. And the size, the size of the venue warrants that, doesn't it? It's big, but it's not
Vast.
crazy big that we'll get lost in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's big and there's some offshoot rooms for various activities. So we're looking forward to it. And I'm really excited about um the fact that we've got the library. So we're going to find some time to be able to do some little mini interviews in there with members, which will be really fun. Maybe
Yeah,
we
in a
can,
library
yeah,
setting.
exactly. Maybe we can do some on the spot interviews of like members of the public to get feedback and some comments and any industry people that come. It'll be brilliant.
It'd be lovely,
And we're
really
putting
lovely.
fairy lights up, so extra excited.
We are, and bunting. Yeah, that's the most important thing on our checklist.
Exactly.
But we are, because this is our very first one. We want to say how much we appreciate everyone's input as well,
Yeah.
especially from people that are more experienced at it than we are. We've had some lovely feedback generally, and then Kirsten's kind of topped it off for us, didn't it,
Yeah.
yesterday as well, which was really nice. And it's just lovely to have those people to turn to that are quite happy and very giving out there. There's no gatekeeping in this industry, I'm finding. That people are quite happy to share their knowledge and experience out there, and
And that's
because it
what we
benefits
hope for,
everybody.
isn't it? That's like, we're so lucky that this, what is it that you say, the tribe, the fact that
Vibe attracting the tribe, yeah.
we're supporting got the right people. Everybody is so kind and helpful. Um,
And I do think as well, I think because the ultimate goal is to get a book into a child's hands. I think that's what it is. We all come together with this common goal of, no matter where you've come from in the publishing world, whereabouts you are, the goal is the same, is to get a child reading.
I need someone to keep me on track because I've still got a couple of pages on the book to finish as of you. Um, we've got to get our books finished. But then I also decided I was going to write another book, which I told you about, which I've not done anything with. But then I also decided I was going to write a children's poetry book. And that's like taken the lead at the minute, and I need to push it back because I'm not ready for it yet.
Is it the one that's sort of shouting at you the
Yeah,
loudest at the
I
moment?
need it to back off just for now.
Well, I'm going to talk to you from Cloudberry as your Cloudberry publisher. You need to send me the rest of those threads.
Why is it so close but so far? Why do you get so close to the end and then you're just like, I've got to get it
Yeah.
finished?
Yeah, I think that's just the creative brain in
Yeah,
it. We've got to fight that
I know
because I
exactly what it's
am
going to look
really
like. It's pretty
behind.
much done in my head, but it's not done.
You wait till we start doing trim sizes and things.
So I've tried
You
to
were
be
like, Hannah,
smart with
where
that.
have you gone?
Tried to be smart. So because the book that's coming out is, I've used 3 colours throughout, so none of the backgrounds are fussy. So I've tried to place the text and the images in a place that will permit me space for margins anyway.
Yes, very
So
good. Yeah,
hopefully there won't be too much argy-bargy, but
that's very considerate of you. Yeah.
yeah. Well, as I was doing it, there's a saying and I don't know it, so I'm just going to make something up. It's like, tomorrow's Hannah will thank today's Hannah. There we go.
Very good.
So, yeah. Okay, what else has been going on this week then?
So we've had Megan here all week, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, you've had her there.
Yeah.
I've had her there virtually.
Oh, and you saw yesterday, didn't you, as well? Was it yesterday? Yeah. Yeah. So I did ask, sorry if the window's open and traffic's going past. So sorry if you can hear Neva laughing in the background. She's giggling at something. So it's all going on here.
So that's a true representation of our lives.
So I asked her, because obviously she's still got one more day to go, and I asked her what she's loved about working here this week, other than the fact that she's just had piles and piles of sweet treats and cake and tea, which is obviously a bonus, isn't it, Megs? Yeah. So she absolutely loved looking through the manuscripts. I think that was your favourite, wasn't it? Yeah, she absolutely loved it, and she was really good, really thorough. She looked and what she would change, if anything, because they were all very good. She found that quite hard because they were all pretty there, weren't they? And then obviously, how it made her feel, and you found them all imaginative and special, haven't you, Megs? Yeah, yeah. So she's loved that, and obviously she's loved being on calls with us, listening in and sort of and seeing what we're doing from ICAN, Cloudberry, and the Lit Fest and the whole variety in between. So I think it's been a real special experience.
Yeah, she's good for it.
Yeah, she's nodding enthusiastically. So yeah, I think we're onto a winner.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to have her back again. She's impressive for sure. She's going to do brilliantly in whatever she decides to do. So hopefully we can have her back at some point.
That would be brilliant.
Actually, the nature of what we do is really varied. So there is a lot for people in there.
It's been a really, really varied week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. She's been doing. It's not just been the same thing. It's been lots of different things in lots of different areas. So it's been a really nice experience.
Yeah. Come on, if you want to come next year. My daughter said, I want to do it, but I think she'd be getting paid. And as soon as I said, you want to get paid? We are getting really good interviewees, can I just say? And we've
Oh,
got,
I mean, I saw a short. I haven't watched the full thing, obviously, because it's literally
yeah,
just
earlier
off
today.
the press. You've just done it. But I did see the short that you did, and it does look like a really, really good interview.
Mm.
Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, no, it is. It's lovely. Um, so I interviewed Clare Helen Welsh today. It's the first time I've spoken to her, but we were introduced by a couple of different people to Clare. You don't know Claire. Well, you probably will have seen her floating around, to be honest, because she moves in very similar circles to us. She's got lots and lots of books out. I won't say the exact number because it's in the podcast and it's mind blowing. Honestly, when you think about what she's achieved within the amount of time that she's been working as an author, it's incredible. Um,
Very aspirational.
Very
Yeah.
aspirational. She's got a beautiful background. Her home looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, here's the interview with Clare Helen Welsh. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me today, Claire. I personally have followed you and Books That Help for a while, so we're really pleased to have you on the podcast.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and to hear more about what you're doing as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've been looking online and just seeing how much interesting stuff's going on. I think it's important and great.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, there's lots and lots going on. It's keeping us extremely busy. You've got a beautiful backdrop there. It looks gorgeous. I'm
Well,
surprised.
this is a so I used to I've been writing over 10 years, maybe 15 years, and I've only ever worked from sofas and beds and beaches mostly, to be honest. I've never had my own little space, but we have just made this kind of, it was supposed to be a man cave, but I've kind of commandeered a little area. So I won't show you any of the chaos on this side, but I have a lovely little corner where I've got candles and flowers,
Oh,
and it's a little
lovely.
piece of a nice desk, and it's a nice place to come and just do my stuff. Yeah, it's just to have something you haven't got to tidy away, and I know that everything will be where it was when I left it. And yes, it's easier to keep track of stuff. And yeah, I actually it feels like maybe easier to make a distinction between work and home life. Like if you're self-employed and you work from home, work is everything, and that's not always healthy. So I quite like that I have a place where I'm like in work mode, and then I make the trek like a meter or two back to house.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
it
great.
does make a distinction. I'm not very good at sort of splitting work
Nor am
and
I.
other stuff.
Nor am I. It all rolls into one, so that is actually a really good tip.
Yeah.
So I can see some of your books behind you. Before we go into specific books, I've got a number in my head. Can you tell me if this is right? You have published 70 books.
I think so. Yeah, if you include all the early readers, picture books, non-fiction, so I think it is
That's
maybe even slightly over.
fabulous.
It's amazing when children ask me. So I should really keep an up-to-date count. Um, but it surprises me, to be honest,
Yeah,
when I think about it. It kind of, I didn't ever imagine that my career would be anything like that. It kind of has just, yeah, worked out
amazing.
that way.
So when was the first book? Can you think back to then?
Yeah, all that time ago. So it just had its 10th birthday.
Oh,
So it was
amazing.
2015. So yeah, we've had 10 years of Aerodynamics of Biscuit, which was my first story, illustrated by Sophia Tuliatou, who's a Greek illustrator. So yeah, although I obviously wrote a lot of books before then, that was the first published book. So I like to tell children that, I've written 70 books, but actually I've probably written over 500
Oh, yeah.
books, really. One year I wrote over 100 books. And published maybe signed maybe 3 or 4 that year. So you write so much,
Yeah,
so many stories, you have to really love it. But yeah, but
that's
all of those make
amazing. If I'm doing my quick maths, that's on average 7 books a year. If we're talking about 70,
yeah,
70.
it's yeah, wow, that is a lot.
It's more than one every month. Just, gosh,
Wow,
that's one every 4 weeks if you do it like that. Yeah. Not that I
wow.
work in finance or
That's
anything.
what I've been doing with my
There
time.
you
That's why
go.
I've got a desk. Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. So could you possibly pick a favourite out of those 70? Do you have one?
No.
No, you couldn't.
So I know children ask me the same thing, and if they really push me, I'll say it's like having a favorite child. Like it's impossible to choose because there's something special about every one. Like a reason I wrote it, something I wanted to say, um, and always a reason that I'm proud of it. So it is almost impossible to pick between them. But if they push me, I say my favorite book today is, and it's usually the one that I'm reading or working
Sure.
on. So right now I'm working on a chapter book series, and that is encompassing like my whole headspace. And so that's what's given me that kind of excited buzz at the moment. But I think it is impossible to
Of
pick just
course,
one
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's why like creative people love variety and range, and I love all of it.
Yeah. So how did you then, so your first book, The Aerodynamics of Biscuits, which is an epic name, by the way. How did you publish that? Did you do that yourself? Did you go through a hybrid, traditional? What was the approach?
So it's a traditionally published book, but it did have a sort of unconventional journey and starting point. So I wrote it for a competition. It was called the Greenhouse Funny Prize. Didn't have a text, but wanted to enter. I had been thinking about it for like weeks, and then about at least two, maybe the night before, 2 days before, I stumbled across the title and wrote the story for the competition. And it came second
Amazing.
after, I think it was a process of about 6 months of like knowing that I was in the long list and then the short list, and then it came second, which was amazing. And so from that, I just emailed anybody that I'd made contact with. So if I backtrack a little bit, I entered another um, scholarship competition. So right when I was a secret writer and I hadn't told anybody that I was doing this, I entered the scholarship that my friend recommended to me, which was the Scooby Margaret Carey scholarship, and you want an opportunity to go to a conference and meet a one-to-one with Walker Books. So I went there, and I just was absolutely out of my depth. I remember being lost in traffic, late, stressed, but
Mm.
everyone was really friendly and welcoming. And I thought, just enjoy yourself, speak to people that you can, just make connections, and just feel part of the world. And I remember writing notes on my phone of anybody I spoke to, so I could sort of remember who they were. And one person was a publisher of Maverick Books. Publisher was called Steve Bicknell, and we were just chatting generally, and he gave me his card. So after I came second in this competition, I emailed him and said, lovely to connect with you a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Got some exciting news. I came second in a competition and wondered if you wanted to read the story. And from there, I got a deal with Maverick. So that's kind of
Oh,
how it
that's amazing.
happened.
Did that feel like a bold move to you at the time? Or were you quite
Yeah.
confident in that?
I don't think I really knew enough about the publishing industry to know that it was um, bold. And also, as it had been left, we had had an email conversation before. I think as we'd left the conversation, he was like, "Here's my card. Send me your story that you were shortlisted for." I think what happened was the book that I'd entered to get the scholarship, he'd said, "Oh, send it to me."
Yeah.
So I did. It wasn't right, but we kept the conversation
Yeah,
open, as
sure.
in like sending more stuff. And so I think if you're just polite,
Yeah,
and they can not reply, but
absolutely.
just friendly and polite, and just say, just in case you were interested in reading it, here it is.
That's amazing. And
Um,
that is so frequently my approach, but it has taken me a bit of time to get to that point where I feel brave enough to go, "Oh, go on, just send it. What's the worst that could happen?"
yeah.
So that's really interesting. So then in terms of the progression, did you envisage this kind of career for yourself?
I remember being sat on the sofa saying to my husband, "Am I ever just going to get a story published?" I just felt like it was never going to
Mm.
happen. So I certainly remember that at one point my goal was just to have a book that I'd made in physical format so I could share it with my children. That certainly at one point was the goal. So if you asked me then, I would have said not at all. And when you say to me, that's a book every however many it was, like 7 books a year, it does feels a little bit surreal.
Yeah,
It almost feels like you're talking to somebody
yeah,
else. Because sometimes you just head down, like doing the next thing. Maybe you don't stop and acknowledge like how
definitely.
amazing it is to look. So thank you for making me stop and realise. But well, yeah, it's important to just
No, it
focus on what
completely
you've
is. It is.
always been looking ahead, but appreciate what you've managed to achieve as
Yeah.
well.
So 10 years on then, obviously I've seen on the Instagram that you are currently doing writers' retreats. So your career is not now just currently made up of publishing your book. You've got some bells and whistles that go around that. What other components have you built around the job to make it sustainable for yourself?
So the first thing I did was offered critiques. So something that I felt confident in was picture book critiques. So I would offer those, and then that's kind of built into mentoring. So offering one-to-one like package over sort of a body of work and a series of weeks or months. And Right Mentor approached me to do some writer in residence things and run some courses. So that kind of evolved into picture book courses and now a chapter book course. And I love the virtual stuff. I wouldn't have been able to do the mentoring had it not been for with the virtual side of things. But I was having a conversation with someone at London Book Fair, and the nub of it was virtual is great, but maybe at this point it would be nice to do some more face-to-face
Yeah.
things. And I thought, well, let's just see what happens. If nothing else, I'll have my own little writing retreat and see if anyone wants to join me. So we've had one. I've got another one booked for the week after next. And yeah, I think it just, the Zoom virtual world has been amazing
Yeah.
for making writing more accessible. And it's nice to have, I guess, like just more approaches. But I do lots of other things as well. So I do the retreats, the mentoring, the picture book retreats. But I do some voluntary things. So I obviously run Books for Help. I invigilate. I do all kinds of different things to try and make ends meet.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's not always. So I don't teach primary school children anymore, which was my main job. So I've left teaching, but it's still a little bit of a juggle, let's say, to keep everything going. There's lots of different moving parts, and yeah, I'm grateful for the flexibility, and that every day is different and varied. Some days it feels like I'm spread quite thin.
Yeah, completely. I'm in a position at the moment where my full-time career is still a necessity for me. I obviously love the fantasy of it not being, but I have a child at university and 2 children at nursery, so for now. But I love the thought of being able to get stuck into other projects to sustain a creative career, because that's where my mind drifts off all the time. So
But when I was full time writing, like as most full time as I've ever been, in that I haven't done other other bits, I probably wasn't as productive as you would think. There was something about when I had other stuff going on in my life that I would rather have been writing instead of doing. It kind of gave me more focus and drive and motivation to actually sit down and do the thing. It's almost like when I was teaching, say you have 6 weeks summer holiday, I have massive plans for those holidays. I was going to do so much stuff. But when I'm given 6 weeks, summer holiday, I just could not.
yeah,
I just could. It's almost like ask a busy person to go and get something done. The less time I had, the more I wanted to do it, and I made it. And maybe the deadline and the pressure gives me focus. So actually, I would say I'm probably happier because creative work isn't just like I have to pay the mortgage or something else to sort of help
yeah,
the buff. And also, so that's probably healthy for creativity, not to sort of need every book deal to come through in case, to sort of help with finances and stuff. But I do think having other life stuff going on makes you a better writer as well. That's what I tell myself. But I appreciate, yes, a full-time author is like an amazing dream. But yeah, I don't know. I think having done that now, it's healthy to have other stuff going on, not just writing.
Definitely. I mean, I'll remind myself that when I'm finishing off my illustrations at 3:00 in the morning, but yes.
Well, be careful. That I did that for about 2 years. I used to go to school with my children, 7:00, work all day, full-time teacher, come home, go to sleep, wake up at night, set my alarm for 1:00, right through the night, get up and start again. And I made myself ill, so just be careful. That's my little
Isn't it? It's a
role.
fine line. You mentioned earlier about attending London Book Fair. A lot of our members are very new into either having 1 or 2 books published. Some are much further on in their careers, but we do have a lot of people who are new to the industry or have not yet started. How important do you think attending events like that are?
I don't think London Book Fair is probably the most helpful event out of the ones that you could probably go to. I think maybe attending a writers' conference or a retreat or workshops that help you with craft and maybe connecting with the writers is better. But if you can get to London and it's possible for you, I think it's worth going along just to see, like physically see what the publishing industry looks like in one room. It is quite overwhelming, so my tips would be to go with somebody else or like connect with somebody online who's going to be there and meet up with them and walk around with them, because there's a lot going on there. But I think you probably would, if it was a toss up doing something else, I think you'd get more out of a different event. But if you can get there and it's not difficult and it's possible, it's nice to go and see it. I think that potentially you could come away and feel like this is really overwhelming. How am I ever going to crack into this industry? There's so many books published, and it might have the opposite effect of what you want. So go with other people, and just remember that yeah, I guess it maybe depends on where your head is at as well. Because
Mhm.
when I go to London, I feel inspired. I'm like, wow, there's so many books about so many things. There's so much space for creativity and like, yeah, just anything's possible. But you could go and think, why am I bothering? Because there's so many books out here. I can't break into this
Yeah, yeah,
industry. So
yeah.
yeah,
I think the whole thing comes down to mindset though, doesn't it? Like, it is such a difficult, industry. My personal tools are, I'm a bit casual in that I just think, well, if it doesn't, if it doesn't happen, fine. I make a joke out of my search for a agent because it's so difficult. I just think, well, I may as well have fun whilst I'm being rejected. So I do think that mindset comes into a lot of it, being resilient and such. And everyone that we've spoken to so far on the podcast does reiterate that,
mm,
that it's tricky and you've got to
yeah,
kind of just crack on and everyone's in it together. One of the main reasons why we built ICAN was actually so that people could feel that they were not just an island. So yeah, no, that's great advice.
there's a writer called Anna Wilson, and she's on Instagram, and sometimes she does little writer's tips or reads poems and things. Really interesting, varied content. But she did something a few weeks ago, and it was about the resilience side of writing. And I'm going to actually butcher what she said, but basically it was you need enough self-belief to think it's possible,
Yeah,
but you need to be resilient enough to know that if it doesn't work out, it's not because of you, it's not personal. So it's kind of
yeah,
like you need a midpoint. You do need to have some, yeah, some confidence and some belief that anything is possible, but also be prepared that, it's out of your
yeah.
control. So
Absolutely.
you're not a terrible writer if your book doesn't get published and it's not necessarily anything that you've done. It's just things out of your control.
I'm not aware of her. I'm going to have to have a look. So going back to your books then, Claire, you don't illustrate them, do you? So you write them. How do you go about sourcing an illustrator? Do you have them in your mind what you want it to look like, or do you just go out there and look for someone whose style you like? How does that work?
So I quite early on I realized that and maybe because I found a group of people who were published, right? So the first thing I managed to luckily get in touch with was a group of writers who were already published, who were a critique group, and I slotted in, and they taught me everything that I knew about writing and what to do and what not to do. And they said that I didn't need to find my own illustrator, so that I could send my text to a publisher and they would partner you up. In fact, that they prefer
Okay.
to work with published illustrators that they have on their books already. Maybe they have some slots to fill, or maybe they just have a vision. It's completely different. And if I'd maybe emailed in and said, I want this to be, let's just say black and white stick men, I wouldn't have said that. But let's just say I see it like this, and they were like, oh, that's not what we're going for. That's not
Mhm.
our style. Then they might have discounted the text. So it's actually better to just concentrate on what you can do, which is the words. Leave space for interplay if you're doing pictures or like a really visual book. So leave space for the visuals, but without thinking too much carefully about them. And then the publisher usually suggests someone. Um, Sometimes there are some samples, and then you get to sort of like pick your favorite, and there's a little discussion. More often, it's this is what we have in mind for this text. What do you think?
Yeah,
And they come really with the illustrator already in mind because they're the ones that are sort of like are paying for the project most
yeah,
often.
yeah,
Um, so that's kind of how it tends to work. On the odd occasion, if I really have a particular vision for the book. So I wrote a wordless book with she's got 7 words in the whole thing. So most of it was kind of like a script. I did have quite a strong vision for how I felt it would look, and so I did in that instance put a couple of names of
okay.
how I imagined it, just to help an editor look at it and go, like, how am I going to illustrate this? Oh, okay, now I see what kind of feel she's going for.
Yeah,
Actually, it didn't work out with that. I was right. What they ended up picking was nothing like what I'd put in anyway. So yeah, I try not to actually purposely try not to sort of think too carefully about the illustrations
mm,
because I know it will change,
yeah,
and I wouldn't want to have a really set mindset and then some that it would be different, and then I would be different. So I think I just do what I can do, which is the text, and then let the editors and art
yeah.
directors and publishers cope with the
Well, that's
illustrators.
really interesting. Do you have an agent or do you represent yourself? You do.
Examination, yeah.
How was that approach? Like, how did you get to that point? Did you find that challenging?
So we're going back quite a long time, and I hope she never sees this interview. But when I was at the conference that I won the scholarship to go to, it was like the best experience I'd ever had. I felt like, okay, this is the community I want to be part of. And so the next year I saved up and went again. And at that conference, you could buy a one-to-one as an add-on, but you didn't know who you were going to get. So you didn't know if it was an agent or an editor, and you didn't know who they were until you turned up and you check your name against a wall, and then you're like, oh, okay. So I went there with my friend. My friend had an editor at a publishing company, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. And I had an agent, and I was like, well, I don't even want an agent, because I just didn't even know that agents were like, I already had a publishing deal, so I didn't think I needed an agent. I just wanted to make books. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'll just go to this. I'll try and get as much information as I can about how I can create better books. And anyway, this agent was actually my agent eventually. So I got there. And I think because I was so laid back and maybe never intended that we would even work together. I didn't think that she would want to work with me or even I needed an agent. I just sort of said, this is what I've got. I have so many ideas. I never really know what to do. And she asked me to send some work on afterwards. And then she said she would represent me. So it kind of was an accident. Now I know how like having an agent has changed everything for me. She really has been one of the most sort of like pinch points really for me in terms of writing career. But it kind of happened by accident, and I didn't even know an agent was important.
That's amazing. Brilliant. So to finish then, Claire, what have you got on? What's next for you? What have you got? Have you got anything coming out this year? I mean, based on your ratios, I assume yes.
It doesn't always feel like that, but and because things come out so like you write them so long ago,
Yeah.
so it just takes 3 or 4 years for them to come out. There have been times where I'm like, I might never write a book again. But I do have a picture book coming out in the autumn. It's called Together Street,
Yes.
and it's illustrated by Robin Wilson Owen. It's kind of like a non-fiction narrative kind of book, in that there's a storyline about a new girl that's joined a neighborhood, but there's content about different types of houses and homes. So it's sort of like a mix between fact and fiction. That's going to be fun. I've got some nice events planned. And then I have my new chapter book series. So I've been trying to write books for a long time and never managed to quite get it right. And that comes out in April. And it's about a goat called Gus who thinks he's the greatest of all time. It's highly visual, full colour, 55 illustrations in like a
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be. And it's funny, so it's nice to do some funny things as well as some more.
Yeah, and that'd
more
be really engaging for those that are maybe not confident readers, then having still got illustrations in there. That sounds fantastic. Thank you so much for speaking to me. I hope you've not melted into a puddle. It's been lovely to speak.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much for having me, Hannah, and I look forward to seeing what's next for the ICAN network.
Thank you. Super. Thank you very much for that, Claire. That was a really interesting chat.
I'm sure all our members will find that really, really encouraging. Yeah.
70 books.
I know, yeah.
So I did
it's not like 7, it was 70 books.
Within 10 years. So in a decade. So I was like, so that's 7 books a year. That's 1 book every, I want to say 4 weeks, but that can't be right, can it?
Might be a bit more, yeah.
That's
yeah.
6 weeks.
Is it?
Don't know. It's a lot. I mean, obviously they don't happen like that, but if you were just to, yeah, let me just tell you, so just pick my phone up to do some maths then, right? To tell you how many books Claire did. And I want to just mention this because I'm getting absolutely hammered for these emails and it's in me off, guys, right? And I'm sure other people are getting them. It's really important that we bring these to everyone's attention. I repeatedly from various sources and getting emails saying, just want to let you know that we reviewed your book and we absolutely love it. It's got such potential. It's this, that, and the other. La 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 la. Click this link. Come join up to this thing. Right. I don't know why I'm getting like at least one a day at the minute.
I feel like it's doing the rounds at the minute because there was one, I don't know if you saw it on my stories last week, someone pretending to be from Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a bit fishy to start with. It just felt something felt off. And the content of the email fell off as well. So immediately I looked it up and it was a scam. And apparently Barnes and Noble are aware of it. So I found the contact at Barnes and Noble, forwarded the email on, got a really, really, really swift response. So I got this email at like our time. It was like 10 o'clock at night. So, I mean, it'd still be trading time in America because they're a little bit behind us. I got an email back from them straight away saying, yes, this is a scam. We are aware of it. Can you they wanted it officially, you know, not I can't just forward the email. They wanted it to show the actual time, you know, the official timestamps and everything. So I had to do all that. Then he replied and said, "Thank you, we've got it. We'll take it from here." So I think when they are aware of it, like Barnes and Noble, they are on it. But it's annoying because also it happened to Troubadour as well, didn't it? Yeah. So Troubadour had people impersonating. Was it from them offering people publishing deals? Yeah.
Do you know what's really sad about it? Like, I know it always is with scammers. It's always preying on people that are vulnerable. I'm not saying this industry is vulnerable, but what it is
but dreams. It's people's dreams, isn't
that's
it?
what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And it's knowing that people will go, "Oh God, thank God, someone, yes." But actually,
Yeah.
it's mean, isn't it? It really is.
Especially if they're not aware that this industry, you get a lot more no's than you do yeses. So if you've had rejection after rejection after rejection, and then all of a sudden you get, I loved it. Even with us, we found with the people that we've accepted manuscripts from, putting our Cloudberry hat on now,
Yeah,
there's been a little bit of, like,
I didn't expect.
and not mistrust in a bad way, because I think if they can go Google us and they know we're legit, but then spoil it for like the rest of us don't don't they, that are genuinely wanting to help people get the book published. But and I think people are on guard even more so now about being scammed, aren't they, as well?
Yeah. But if it's from us, we only have 2 email addresses. We have the one for
hello@cloudberryink.co.uk
yeah,
and hello@indiechildrensauthors.co.uk. If you
thank
get
you,
it from
'cause I don't
anywhere
return that
else,
information.
if you get it from anywhere else, it's
It's
not
not.
us.
And if
Yeah,
you ever want to validate it, DM us, because that they are our accounts and we are the only 2 people that have access to them.
it is sad that that's happening.
It is
So
sad, isn't it?
yeah,
Anyway, that's my rant for today. I'll go back to Claire now.
yeah, happier things,
Happier things.
yeah.
So yeah, 70 books within 10 years. Really, really interesting route into getting a book published. But again, she talks about having the same feelings that most of us have, which is like, am I ever going to get my book published? It's a desire that so many of us have, but it's really interesting speaking to her. She also talks about how she, I want to say like commercialized and supports herself as an author, because as we know,
Well, you have to.
you have
You
to.
do. You have to do that.
You
Yeah,
don't make,
yeah.
you don't make a great deal of money. So she's got some really interesting things that she does. She lives down in the beautiful part of the world in Devon, and she runs writers retreats. So you can go and stay at her amazing
Wow.
house. She does like group writers retreats. She's just
Yeah.
starting her second one, which just sounds beautiful.
Well, that sounds idyllic.
Yeah, but we've not actually spoken properly since I just dropped you a voice note saying blah, 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 blah. But one of the things that we were hoping to be able to do with Claire, so Claire does a lot of mentor writing, she does a lot of one-on-one feedback, she does loads of things with a lot of organisations, and she has very kindly agreed to hold some sort of yet to be decided what it'll look like writers 101 or feedbacks or something for our members. So we're just going to be working with her over the next few weeks to iron out exactly what we think would fit our members the best, and then we'll be
That would
posting
be
on that.
really beneficial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
really
would.
beneficial.
You know, I mean, I definitely want to do it for myself, because I write because I enjoy doing it, and I like
Yeah.
silly little rhymey stories. That's the way my brain works. But am I an amazing writer? No, I could definitely use some critiquing, so I'd love to take part in that.
Yeah, the editorial process is an important one, and which is why we have professional editors within the packages that we've
Yeah,
got. We use professional editors.
yeah.
It isn't just us winging it.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So yeah, thank you for your time, Claire, and hopefully that won't be the last that you see of her. She'll be coming into the fold and doing some nice little bits for our members, which will
That
be
would
lovely.
be a great bit of experience
Yeah,
for us, wouldn't
and
it?
much
Also, I'd
appreciated.
like to say as well, we do kind of take one for the team with a lot of things, don't we? So if anything that we want our members to try, we try it ourselves at
Do
cost to ourselves. You
yeah,
know, it doesn't come through ICAN, it doesn't come through Cloudberry. We do it
we do.
ourselves because we want to have that experience as a
Yeah, that's
paying
a great point.
author.
we're not pushing anything that we won't do ourselves. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. So we're the guinea pigs.
But yeah, where are you guinea pigs?
Yeah. Brilliant. So yeah, thank you, Claire. Next week we've got James from Rebel Reading Society coming on, which is wicked. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then I've still to arrange the time because I'm slacking because I've been so busy, but we've got a member who will be having a chat with Agathe, who is one of the illustrators. She's going to be joining us for a chat.
One of your
I won't
favourite
say
illustrators,
she's not
isn't
my
she?
favourite, but she's one
She's
of
one
them.
of your favourites.
She is.
Yeah. She's one of your favourites.
It's really inky and how would you describe it?
It's deep, isn't it? It's like it's like there's a layer to it.
Yeah.
There's like an extra layer to her illustration.
Mystical Enchanted. I really, really love it. We're having a chat with her, so that'll be lovely. I don't know if we haven't spoken to her face to face, have we?
No. We spoke to her over DMs and emails quite a bit. Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be great. And then we've got a few other people lined up for the podcast. I'm not going to do spoiler alerts that far in advance, but we've got a couple of authors and illustrators coming up.
Yeah. We like hearing from our members as well.
We do.
Yeah.
I haven't heard back from Michael Rosen's agent. I know people will be hanging on the edge of their seats, but
the thing is, Hannah, he's a very, very, very busy man. But it doesn't mean that he's not too busy for us. We just need to be patient.
Yeah. Well, a couple of people have asked me about it. The answer is nothing yet, but she shall persist.
Yeah, I think she needed further information, didn't she?
Yeah,
agent?
we had to go back to her, but
yeah.
You know, if you don't ask, you don't get. That's my mindset. We've got some pretty interesting people coming up anyway, so hold on to your hats. I won't spoil them yet. If you can think of someone, don't go wild, right? Don't be going Brad Pitt. I can't think of anyone, but you know,
Lauren Child. Yeah. Lauren Child would be the dream for me.
Great, wouldn't she?
She would be the dream guest for me. Yeah. Yeah, and possibly Sophie Dahl as well, because of the Roald Dahl connection, and also her book Madame Badoobadah. Have you read that?
I have, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's that Neva went for. So she generally goes as Cat in the Hat usually for World Book Day, but a couple of times, I think it was through COVID as well, she went as Mabel from Madame Badoobadah, which was really sweet. She looked just like her in a little short dungarees and a stripy top. But yeah, so we've got both of Sophie Dahl's books. They're both very, very good. Yeah. So Sophie Dahl or Lauren Child would be my dream guest. What about you?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think what I would.
Other than Michael Rosen, obviously.
I'd love Michael Rosen just because.
I don't think you can think of anyone else apart from him, can you?
No, and you know, since I posted that poem that I shared the other week when I talked about him, I'd put it, like, stored it somewhere in my brain, so I'd not thought about it until I spoke about it then, and then I could remember it all. And then because I'd played it, Perry, who is 4, caught onto it, and now he's obsessed with it. So now it's back getting recycled again at our house.
I feel that's like something he would like to hear.
Yeah.
It's always nice to hear that, isn't it?
Yeah. And we've got a little thing now where if I say something to Perry is really, really a smart kid, but sometimes if he's not confident on what you're saying, or if he wants to ask more questions, his initial response is what. So you'll say something to him and he'll go what, and then I know that I need to slow down and try and explain it in
just slower,
down a little bit to another level,
deliberate way. Yeah.
So a lot of the time he says what, and whenever he says what, then since we've watched that, I go, don't what? And he goes, don't throw fruit at the computer. And then we both start reading bits of the poem to each other. It really makes him laugh. So,
that's lovely.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I'm going to have to think now who my ideal guest would be. I've loved everyone we've had, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I have as well.
Do you know what I'd probably say if I was just thinking about my kids? My kids, I'm not going to get because I have to rummage in cupboard, but my 2 boys are obsessed with a book called 101 Bums, right? Have you read it?
I knew it had to be bums or poo or something. It's got to be at that age.
Honestly, epic. It's by Sam Harper and Chris Jevons. There's quite a few in the series now, but when we first got it, it was the only one. And it's like big bum, little bum, small bum, tall bum, fast bum, slow bum, this bum, whiz bum, all these bums. It's really good for like a 2 to 4 year old. My boys love it. There's a guy that does a read along on YouTube, and it's the only one that they'll listen to. I can't remember his name. I feel like it's called like Spendlove or something. Don't know. I'll find it and link it so people can watch. It's a really lovely book with very, very good illustrations. And since then, he's bought out loads more. Let me have a look what there is since then.
What's he called? What's his name again?
It's Sam Harper, and then I think Chris Jevons is the illustrator. I think that's right. Right. So since 101 Bums, there's 101 Spooky Bums, 101 Christmas Bums, 101 Dino Bums, and 101. Is it like an Easter? Oh, 101. I think that's it. I'm sure there's one about Easter as well. They're brilliant.
That's brilliant.
They're really, really good.
It's
Yeah.
got a sort of a long list to go still yet by the sounds of it, doesn't
lots.
he?
He also wrote Super Poop, which is one that Perry really likes. That's Len's a little bit. He gets lost on that one. He can't hold his attention for long enough for that one. But Perry really likes Super Poop. It's about a poo who's a superhero.
I've got the image of the front cover in my head. I think I've seen that. I think I've
Super
seen that
Poop's
image.
quite a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not overly keen on poo fat weed bum books, but
if it gets them reading, Hannah, it don't matter.
I do love 101 Bums, and I also love The Great Dog Bottom Swap. That's another bum book that I love. That's an epic book.
It's not a book, but neither's got this in. It's called Poo Bingo.
Oh.
Which is really, really good because you've got to match the poo to the animal.
Oh, I have seen something like
and
that.
not only is it fun, it's educational and fun.
Yeah.
So in line with what Chris was saying about cooks and nannies.
Yeah.
Don't tell him it's educational. It's got to be fun.
Yeah. That reminds me of, have you seen the series of Bum or Face books for kids? Bought it for my niece a few years ago. God, I can't think who it is. Bum or Face, Google it. It's definitely a thing. And it's like close-ups, and you've got to guess if it's a bum or a face of an animal.
Brilliant.
It's really
brilliant.
But yeah, I'm not majorly into poo and bum books, but those are some of my favourites.
I think it's just a prerequisite when you're a boy mum, isn't it? Yeah.
It really is. It really is. So yeah, I'll have to think about my absolute top podcast person. I don't know. I'll have to give them
Mr.
some
Rosen will take some beating. Yeah.
No, I just like look. Do you know what it is? I can't think of that many poets. Am I being daft? Why can I not think of many children's poets? And there's something about poetry. Well, as you know, I love poetry. I don't write for children much. I have got a few. Specifically, I'll tell you that story in a minute, actually, park that dunk. But I love poetry because you've got even more ability to just be a little bit wacky and silly. You can be repetitive. You can be, I don't know. I just think it sits, and I love that.
I do think there's something in that because when we were homeschooling, I think it was when it was during COVID, and we went through the book A Child's Garden of Verses by, is it Robert Louis Stevenson?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's his, and Neva loved it, and she can recite quite a lot of the poems from there because they're interesting. For one, it's not because they're short. There's one about the moon that she loves and she recites, and an autumn one. There's a seasonal one that she writes, and then there's one about being on the beach. It's just it was a really lovely book to go through, and we also did the Flower Fairies. I
don't know that
by Cicely. What's the name? Yeah, the Flower Fairies one. That was a lovely one to do as well. So they are. I feel like it doesn't feel like learning when it's poetry, does it?
So if you think about it, like I've got a really bad memory, but there's certain poems that have completely stuck with me. One was in my anthology when I was doing A-level English, and it was, I can't remember the official title because the Arctic Monkeys brought it out as a song and they called it Be Mine, and I don't think that was the poem's name. The poem's written by John Cooper Clarke, and it's, I don't know if you will know it, where he's like, let me be your vacuum cleaner, sucking up the dust. Let me be your Ford Cortina, I will never rust. Do you know it?
No, I've never heard of
If you
that.
like my coffee hot, let me be your coffee pot. It's great.
I like that one.
It's really, really good. It's really, really good. Anyway, it was a poem when I was doing my GCSEs, and I loved it, and it just has ingrained in my mind. But then, what will it be since Arctic Monkeys bought the first album out? 20 years, because I was pregnant with Faith. No, it's the second album, so it's a bit less than that. they then turned that song for the same reason as me. It was in an anthology when they were doing the GCSEs. They loved it. They turned it into a song. The poem by John Cooper
Right,
Clarke, which is
interesting.
brilliant. So there's
I
that
think it's
one. Go on, sorry.
it's good to, because obviously my picture book is your picture book rhyme.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah. So that's what I loved about the fact that Please Cloud Don't Cry is a rhyming book as well, because it is memorable, isn't
I
it,
love
when
rhyming
it
books.
rhymes.
I got such. I think it's because we're both musical actually out there. I think it's that. I just
Yeah.
think it sits. Everything is formed in rhymes to me. What's great about poetry is you can write it in isolation. You don't, you write a poem and you move on, and as it did with my adult poetry book, they stay in your notes for as long as it takes to gather a collection together. You don't have to go at it hard.
Just going on like the subject of inspiration, like when you get like inspirational moments. I don't know how it worked for you, but something again that Chris's interview last week resonated with me a little bit was when he said about when he was trying to find the name Crooks and Nannies, and it was a spoonerism, and he was saying he had like a block, and then as soon as he thought Crooks and Nannies is like a spoonerism of nooks and crannies, and he said a phrase which happened to me with my book, in that everything just fell into his head. And I think that's what it does, doesn't it? When you get inspired by something. So like, it just made me think with poetry then. If you get inspired by something, because that happened to me when Neva said those words, it just, you can't describe it as anything else than it's everything's falling into place in your head. I think it's just when your head and your heart align, isn't it? And then it just all comes in.
It's a great feeling, but it's an urgent feeling, because then you're like, oh, I've got to get this out somewhere because it's going to be gone.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
exactly the same with, I don't know if you write any music, but when I had time, I used to write quite a lot of music, and I used to have to record myself because I think I'm going to play the piano, because I think I'm going to forget this.
Yeah.
If I don't record what I'm doing now, I'll come back down and sit down, and it'll be completely gone.
I've had like musical sort of pieces in my head and never done anything with them. But then obviously I like you, I play the piano. I can play by ear.
Yeah.
So if I hear something, I can play it by ear. But it does make you wonder, if you have sat down and composed that instead of just letting it fall out of your head, where would it be? Where would it be now? Yeah.
Yeah. There's
just not enough hours in the day, basically.
No,
so that's what it is.
There's not. I honestly, when I was Megan's age, 16, I was absolutely sure that I'd end up doing something in music. But obviously, I had a child, and then I had to get a job and work in an office for eternity.
But don't you think what's really nice is that even though you were sort of stopped, then it hasn't stopped you fulfilling your creativity, even though you've gone down a different route and done it.
Totally
done it this way.
I think it's all linked, isn't it? I think writing and poetry and music, they're all linked.
I think it's an unstoppable force a little bit as well. I think it's just, and I think that's why there's so much kind of angst around schools, art and music being the first thing that gets cut from budgets.
I know.
And why there's such uproar with it, because, creativity is so important, isn't it?
100%. That's just reminded me. So when we were in the library yesterday doing the tour of the venue, we went in to speak to the library lady, didn't we? And she had a poster up for the thing that I have then done a poster about.
The beat thing, sing to the beat or read to the beat, is it?
Read to the beat, is it? Let's
read
have a
to
look.
the beat.
So it's the Reading Agency doing a summer reading campaign, Read to the Beat. Summer Reading Challenge 2026. And basically, you go into your library and you can take part in it. This, for me, I think, absolute kudos to whoever thought of that, because that's such a great idea. I've suggested a couple of musical-themed books, but actually there's loads. But when you're saying about, it's really sad that it's been, like, the arts have been cut first, think about how emotive a piece of music is, or coming out of you've listened to a poem and it's made you feel a certain way, you've read a book and
or a Hans Zimmer soundtrack.
Yeah. The book and you think, God, that was beautiful. You leave a venue and you've seen a comedian, like, all these things are just like fueling, and if they're gone, then life's a bit miserable, isn't it?
Absolutely. Maybe we should start a campaign of our own.
Shall we?
Might as well. We're doing we just add it onto the pile.
Oh dear. Right, what do we want to achieve then this week? Let's think about it realistically. So we have committed. We'll be sending out a link to people, members, for you to fill out your details for the Discovery magazine.
So the Discovery magazine is going to be a magazine that's going to go to industry, experts, bookshops, I'm missing anybody else. Educators, yeah, schools and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's basically going to be a catalogue, a directory of all our members, what their books are, what they do, what age range they are, where they can buy their books, and get their names out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We figured a collective force will be hopefully more successful than us all individually trying to get somebody to buy our books. So we're bringing it together in an ICAN Discovery magazine. See what happens. So our members will get the link to start filling out the information on that. They're kind of a little bit urgent because we want to get it out in time for the Lit Fest as well. So we'll probably be a little bit of a pest around that, but it's for your benefit, basically. So there we go. So there's that one. And then the other one is we're going to send out some more information, a part 2 on the Lit Fest. We pulled together a bit of a members information pack. We're doing part 2 once we've spoken to Jo to iron out some other things.
I just want to say as well, another thing that Kirsten mentioned in her email was, funnily enough, it was what her and Emma were talking about on their new episode of Spines and Headlines, and I watched it last night. And it's really useful information because it talks about Litfest. It also talks about Gardners as well, which is
I
good.
caught a clip of it today.
Yeah, so just with with Gardners first. So obviously there's 2 routes into Gardners. So I'm experiencing both because when I was on my self-publishing journey, I went through the pub easy route with Gardners, but obviously because now thanks to Cloudberry we have a trade account with them. So that's a very different setup. And Kirsten talks about the two different ones as well, which I thought was really good. I wish I'd have had that explanation at the start of my journey with Gardners. And she does make a really interesting point in that they are super good at getting back to you, I've got to say. Because I've been the world's biggest nag to them. And every time I've emailed them, they've always come back to us very, very fairly quickly.
Yeah,
so,
you've done amazing. You really have done amazing with that.
Which is good, yeah.
That's great. Will you do that clever thing where you link it, the podcast?
Yes. So there was that one. And then Emma did one on her own about Gardners. So that might be beneficial for our members who are on a self-publishing journey, because obviously that's the route that she's taken with Gardners. So that was really, really helpful. And then also on the podcast, they were talking about what makes a good literature fest. So I highly recommend you watch that because that's really interesting.
Yeah,
very
brilliant. I'll
insightful.
definitely get there's a clip on one of their social medias this morning of it. So I thought to myself, I will go back and listen to that because it was really interesting.
It's really good. I love having Spines and Headlines because when it's really late at night and everyone's in bed and I'm still, it's like...
It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
I was up at 2 o'clock. I sent you a message, didn't I?
Stop shocking me. It's up at 2 o'clock in the morning, not you. What were you doing?
It's about average is that now at the minute because I've got such a deadline on my book. So, and because we've been so busy, especially with Cloudberry's been great on it. It's been and then we're opening again, and we need to talk about that as well after I've just finished this. Is that with Cloudberry we've been super busy. The Lit Fest we've been super busy, and then on the evening time when I would have normally started on my illustrations, I've not been able to do that. So it's been usually like an 11 p.m. start for me, and then time runs away, doesn't it? Then you start sort of doodling and time runs away, and that's usually the time I've got podcasts on, and I've been really good. Normally it's between 12:30 and 1, but it was 2 o'clock this morning. Not too bad, like I've said before. It neither used to be up super duper early, which was horrendous if I was having a late one, and then Neve would wake up at 5. But she's like 8 o'clock this morning, 7:30 it was this morning, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah, so you do recoup some sleep time there.
Yeah. It's just the life that we live in, it, like, you know,
It
juggling and
is.
fitting stuff like that. And the thing is, we enjoy what we're doing. The problem you and I both have is that we're pushing some of our own stuff back. So that's like a bit, we've got to both crack on with our
Yeah.
individual
But
projects.
even though we are really, really busy with that, it's not like it's, like a stress busy. It's just
Yeah,
busyness because
love it.
we are enjoying what we're doing. It feels very time consuming, but it doesn't feel pressure stress.
No, I don't.
I mean, ask us maybe a few days before Litfest and we might
That might be
we might
different.
tell you a different story, but at the minute it's not
kind of like
stress.
the feeling when you end a week. Do you know when I've started posting the things on a Friday, haven't I, where I say what the win of the week was? Don't really
Yeah,
post
they're
hours
really
because
good.
people know what we're up to, but I always reflect on the week for like what we've been doing. I'm like, it's insane what we're getting through in a week. And I'm like,
I know.
I personally find it even more motivating. The more that we do, the more motivated I am to do
It
more.
doesn't feel like it's running away with us either. I think because we're not trying to conquer everything. We just want to do what we want to do within our little
Yeah,
parameter
yeah,
of things. It just so happens that it's going really, really well, and it's a need and it's a niche.
yeah.
It's a niche that people have wanted, haven't they, for so long.
It is. I think it's probably worth mentioning. So I was away last week, wasn't I? And you looked after the social media, and I think you probably saw that.
That was stressful for me. I
Much
don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do
we
it.
get a
It's
lot.
like,
So to
yeah,
quantify it for people, we get a lot of DMs, but even more, we get hundreds of comments every single day, and
yeah,
we
and it's not.
always
I mean, the members what we is great in it. We love replying to members, but it isn't just the members. It's inquiries
loads
from everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, that come in.
So
Yeah,
we always try our best to get back to people, but we are getting to the point where we want to make sure we do reply to everyone because there's been a couple of instances where we might not have got back straight away, and then people are like, "Oh, did you get my message?" So what we've agreed is we are going to switch on some auto responses when we get a chance to do that. So you might get,
oh, the irony.
I know, I'm watching it. You might get an auto response to say, "We've got your message and we'll get back to you." That's not to take the personal side out of it because everyone still is going to get a personal message, but it's just to acknowledge at least that we've got it.
It means your message won't get lost.
Yeah, we've got
Basically,
it,
yeah,
and we're going as quick. We are going as
because
quick as we
we are
physically
very,
can.
very concerned about losing messages,
Yeah, we
aren't we?
are.
Not replying to them.
Yeah. So please, if you do get an automated message, don't think, "Oh God, they can't both reply." Will still get a human response. It's just we're getting
Yeah,
vast amounts of messages,
like a
but don't
full-time
stop
job.
because we love it.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Oh, brilliant! There's something else. Cloud
Oh yeah,
nine.
Cloud Nine. Cloud Nine.
Go on,
Yeah.
then you do this one.
So we had such a great response, didn't we, to the first opening of book submissions. Oh, also I've amended the form slightly because there were certain things that were missing that we had to sort of route around for. Whereas if they told us initially,
Mm,
we could kind of park, in different, whether we've got chapter books, picture books,
yeah,
all that kind of thing. Where they're from. That was another one, wasn't
yeah.
it?
Love it.
Yeah. So we've tweaked the form a little bit, which is good. So we decided that a week was great, wasn't it? We got tons of submissions. But then I said to you, imagine if you saw this submission window open and you knew you were not going to be able to send anything for a few months.
Yeah,
It would be really, and then you having to wait for
and you don't know
another
when
day
it's going
to
to open
open.
again.
Yeah, I mean, I remember right at the beginning, I'd missed loads of submission windows, loads, because
So
one, there were a lot of them told you kind of last minute, which was a bit frustrating. Or they'd say, right, we're opening now, go, 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 but just for 24 hours. And then there's almost like a frenzy rush then, isn't there? Then that sort of made me think I won't be submitting my best work. I just wanted to put something in. And then you get, then obviously that doesn't get accepted, the rejection. It's like a vicious cycle. So we thought that wouldn't it be nice if we had a day where, a day in the month that was a 24-hour window where they knew they could put their book submission in. So say if they knew they weren't going to be ready, so it's now the end of June, if they knew that they could happily submit something in August, they know they've got the 9th of August and a submission window will be open for 24 hours. And I just think that just takes the pressure off slightly, and it makes people want to put in the best work. There's no rush, pressure's good, but like not that kind of pressure. So it's nice that they've got that, isn't it?
It's great. It's brilliant. Nice.
And we love the fact that it's because we were saying, do we do it the first day of the month? Do we do it the Monday? We're trying to sort of do a play on words with different days of the week. And then it was like inspiration, wasn't it? Cloud 9. No brainer.
No brainer. Cloud 9. One day every month, always the 9th. Cloud 9.
Always the 9th. Yeah.
Submissions are open. It gives us time to review them. We've had loads of submissions. We have signed a couple of people. We've not formally communicated that outwardly yet, but we will be doing probably next week. I would imagine you'll start seeing some confirmations.
Yeah. And we're not going to spoil it, but those that have returned contracts with us are going to get a nice little something.
Yeah, they are
as well. Yeah,
they are
for joining.
That's exciting. That is exciting. So yeah, we got loads. We've signed a couple. There's some that we've given feedback on that we're probably not the right fit for the people. There's some people that have come back and said, oh, we didn't realise you were a hybrid publisher. Previous episodes of the podcast, we've explained why we have the model that we have. I am actually flabbergasted. The more I get to know our members, how many actually have gone through hybrid publishing that I didn't realise I thought were self-published. I'd really love to get, if we could do like a questionnaire for people to say what publishing route they took, because it'd be really great to hear from those that have hybrid published, just to have experiences to help us with Cloudberry, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you have used a publisher hybrid, members, drop us a DM or whatever method of communication you use, and let us know who you published with and how you found it. It'd be really good to hear from you. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a car racing past my window.
I couldn't hear it.
But no, it's so we're looking forward to Cloud 9 on the 9th of every month. So yeah.
Really exciting. Reading the manuscripts is honestly one of my favourite things.
Yeah, Megan was right. Once you're reading the manuscripts, is definitely their favourite. I think as well, there's she said this as well, that it's the variety, isn't it? Yeah, the variety of the manuscripts as well, which is good, isn't it? As well, there's authors only, there's author illustrators. There's a few that have sent in full illustrated, and then there was one that she'd partially illustrated it. So you saw the sketches, and then you saw the ones that she did, and that was nice actually, because you could see the progression, like from where it started. It also gave you a sense of her skill and ability as well.
Definitely.
So that was a nice one to look at. Yeah.
Excellent. All right then, let's leave it there. This is probably going to be a long podcast, believe it or not.
I know.
All right.
We do try. At least we try, don't we, to keep it.
Try our best.
So we do want to just say again, big thank you to Megan. We've really enjoyed having her here this week.
Megan. She can't hear me, but yes, we really have. Thank you. And you're welcome.
She's smiling. Yeah, you've done a great job, and we've really enjoyed you being here this week. Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, super. Right, I'm going to go get a drink and crack on with some more bits.
Yeah, me too.
See you soon.
All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.